Hello, welcome to the after show for Sounds and Suns, episode 25. Hi, how did that go?
By and large, the longest campaign I've ever run.
Whoa.
Wow, right on.
Damn.
It's a good feeling.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't have much. I'm telling you, I've told you. I feel like I've told you this. My GM experience is surprisingly incredibly limited. I've played for almost 2 decades, but I never really DM'd until recently.
I think we found your niche, man.
Yeah.
World of Darkness. World of Darkness is my niche. I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. I will be the World of Darkness ST because I just like running it.
Do you like playing other games?
I play D&D a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like running D&D. I just am not good with the rules of D&D, especially Pathfinder, stuff like that. I just don't have the time to dedicate to learning the intricacies of that. But I play it because that way I can just go, DM, what's the rule? And I just roll. I also DM the Star Wars Fantasy Flight game, which is interesting. But how'd you guys enjoy the episode? This is very much a player-run episode. My hands were very little in the pie this episode, much like last.
I kind of felt that little standoff at the beginning was going to be fine, because there's no way they would really want to start a fight for not really any gain.
They came ready to fight.
Yeah.
And
as
storyteller, I actually like 80% expected a throwdown knockdown.
Me too.
Fight.
I came into that knowing we were going to fight.
Yeah.
I was pretty surprised with the negotiations, especially by Ollie, like just coming out with because I didn't think about that. I was ready to sell Saito. I was like, all right, let's cut a deal or something. But then,
they'd want to sort on their side. They'd want to verify that and all that bullshit. They wouldn't want us to just help them kill Saito because that seems like, hey, the Camarilla is coming to kill one of ours.
Yeah. I was just kind of pulling at strings, but then, Ollie was just like, actually, let's, divide the body. And it actually worked out.
I felt like that was the best way to handle that.
Yeah, that for sure.
That was really smart.
That was actually really great about watching the 4 of you do that. Is you actually handled that as well as you possibly could have. You rolled really well. And you actually, whether you know it or not, your characters kind of learned something there. You realize, at the very least, they didn't give a shit about Rowan.
No.
Yeah.
Rowan was clearly a Mark thing.
That's true.
If they did not ask for Rowan or didn't, and with one of the council members there, and they did not ask for Rowan, then there's a good chance they did not send Mark out to get Rowan by order.
No. I had already pinned that down as Mark went off his rocker and did one by himself because he got fed up with the status quo being quo and getting nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually didn't put that together right away. So you saying that was actually a little, not necessarily startling. I was like, oh, that does mean that actually. Nice. Okay, cool.
Right.
I imagine Ollie was very just in the moment at that moment, not really paying attention to signs, just making sure his boy was safe.
And even going as far as willing to
fight,
work through it.
Oh, and work through it. Yeah.
If there was a fight, then Rowan's life would have been
yes.
It could have been forfeited, so that wasn't on the table for him.
Yeah, it was last episode was kind of packaging up Madison and saying goodbye, and this episode was unpacking Chicago and getting back into the Chicago life. It was just a couple episodes of just being resituated, but with plans. That's what I like. I love listening to Ollie tell Dakota about plans he has or what he wants to do.
I'm gonna yes.
Why?
I think people were pretty surprised about that. Just reading chat through that, they were like, Ollie wants to cook? What?
What?
What do you mean?
I can't stand when the moment comes and he's like, I've made this amazing feast, and then it tastes really bland and boring.
But he's got decades upon decades to get better at cooking, at least. So
he'd be like, yeah, I got really good at cooking. Still really can't taste it that much.
Yeah, there's definitely a vision for the whole thing, but I'll kind of let it pour its way out in episodes, or if a future campaign comes around, then hopefully
that too.
What is everyone feeling regarding the Methuselah? Ignore it, side with it, eat it as a team.
Again, it's so far out of Dakota's purview, her understanding.
I feel like it's out of everybody's purview except Zach's.
Yeah. Zach's the only one that really cares because it's kind of his way out.
That's how he definitely perceives it. It seems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not necessarily bad. It's just a gamble.
Yeah. It's a huge gamble. But for me, I don't for Dakota, I don't know that there's a that it's even like at this point, what she sees to be her only option is to just ride out this bond. Mm-hmm. She's gonna have to. She's gonna just have to play the long game, and it may put her in a better position later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ava's just like, let the Camarilla handle it. They are the ones who've been around longer. They know more than us. I feel like Zach thinks that he knows a lot, which he does. That's true. But he's trying to come up with some sort of plan, some sort of solution. And I think it's like really out of all of our scope. We're still young and don't fully understand everything.
The problem is that Zach is coming up on that hasn't really been mentioned because it's not really come up that much. Is every time it's been brought up about Methuselahs or about like Gehenna and stuff, is every time the Camarilla have kind of gone, we kind of have to accept to a certain extent that's happening now, but shush, be quiet. Let's deal with other things, other topics. And he's like, no, this is the thing that I actually care about, and I'm actually good. No, okay.
Right, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see Zach next week dive deep into trying to figure out, at least piece together how long he believes the Methuselah is there and try and rule out who he might believe it is. But then the question, well, then the thing is, Zach will then have to spend a long time researching the Methuselahs, looking up who it could be, because Zach doesn't know off the top of his head what Methuselahs are around and who even is a Methuselah.
He's got that would take basic knowledge because he's got like specialism in kindred for occult and so on.
Yeah, for sure. You've got some of the more basic stuff, but like Lasombra, if that's what you believe it's Sybil and Lasombra, unlikely you know much about the Lasombra Methuselahs or any of the other non-necessarily Camarilla clans or haven't been part of the clan, the Camarilla for millennia or so. But that just means again that's vampire. You take time.
The great thing about Methuselahs though is that like it doesn't really matter too much about the Camarilla or not the Camarilla because the lore is the same, always going back to that long ago before the Camarilla.
Yep.
So
those 6 tenants have been around for thousands of years. Yeah. So I feel like we just have a good setup for the next session, man.
It's just I don't want to side with Sybil unless I really can take some of the coterie with me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to probably diablerize it by myself because then I've got to deal with the fallout by myself when especially Ava can just see through that. And I also don't really want to just do the thing with 3 of us out of 4 of us. I'm like, I really want Dakota on side. Can we just wait out the bond? We'll come with a plan, and then when the bond's gone, be like, right, Dakota, we've got a plan.
I mean, the earliest you're looking at is 3 months.
Yep. If Dakota says all the right things.
And is able to resist.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Well, she's not being fed every day. So she has a chance to... She rolls a hell of a dice pool, man.
Yeah. To fight it.
Yeah. She'll free herself sooner or later.
I thought I had a chance. Dice were against me.
Not tonight. Not tonight. That bestial fail was just
it's rough, man.
Deal. Yeah. Yeah. But it actually I like where it leads. It's gonna lead to obviously complications, but we get introduced to a touchstone no one has ever met yet.
Yeah.
True.
Because we don't really know the rest of your touchstones really.
Yeah. Who did you think I was going to say?
Part of me thought you were going to try and make contact with Sienna.
I was thinking Cammy.
Me too, I was thinking Cammy.
I thought there might be a chance with Zach, because Zach and you have talked about Ava a few times.
Yeah, the reason I was thinking Sienna, though, is because the idea of like another pretty face, a better way to get to the heart of it than talk to another Toreador, or the Toreador that even sired Ava. That was my thought.
Hey, Sienna, we really got you in really loads of trouble, but I want to talk to you about Ava. Can we talk about Ava?
But Jules is the more realistic choice, the one he can definitely get in contact with.
Because I was going to say, even I think this is something Ali has said, that Ava, I remind him of
Jules.
Of Jules. So it actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It makes absolute sense.
Honestly, I think that the conversation with Dakota would have been a lot less interesting that would have been with the new touchstone.
Yeah. I mean, Dakota would have had something to say, but like it would have been probably very similar to conversations they have had in the past.
Right.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how this is going to go because A, you're a Nosferatu. B, you don't look like you anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And her initial reaction is, I think, going to set the tone for the entire conversation, and then the question is what happens after that.
And also you're gonna wake her up in the middle of the night. Drunk.
And he's drunk.
And he's drunk. You can't make her forget. You don't have that ability.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. And there's no way you're going to come to Zach and be like, Zach, so there's this really important person in my life I need you to wipe the memory of.
Hell no!
See?
That is no way.
No, it really fits the consistent downfall of Ollie from mortal to monster. Once again, he breaks the cycle for one and starts the cycle anew for another.
He's like, I just want to be human, smash. Okay, find me another toy. I want to be human, smash. Find me another toy.
But it's gonna be wonderful to watch because fuck, man, who knows how this encounter is gonna go? It's gonna be entirely up to Ollie and what he says.
I mean, based on the events that just happened, even drunk Ollie realizes that he can't bring this out into Kindred Light.
Oh, right.
That this is gonna be after one of those things. It's kind of like fever pitch, right? Like this is gonna have to spike once and then never again. A regular visiting will result in something truly terrible. On top of that, when it comes to Ava, it's not like, hey, Jules, I need tips and tricks on how to get a girl to notice me. It's just like every time I think of Ava's character about that and the idea of like romance pops up, it's just embittered. Yeah. There is some like almost borderline vitriol there. Like, how could she hide something like this from me? But we're supposed to be so close.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people joke. It's like, oh, but they just need to kiss. It's the love of Ollie's. It's not. It's like, oh, that bitch. Why would she do that?
Yep.
Why would she do that?
And it's like it actually hurts Torador so much. Just being around you gives her negative dice pool.
Yeah.
It's as distracting as a moderate amount of pain.
Could have showed Dakota. She asked.
I let it do a dice roll.
Yeah.
Let it do a dice roll.
Yep. Hey, it's all right.
Yeah, it's like I can understand where you would have thought about Ziana, but that could have only gone poorly. She doesn't think highly of me anyway.
It would have either gone poorly or not at all, and we never would have been able to get in contact with her before the drunkenness wears off.
Yep. So I'm wondering at what point this drunkenness is going to wear off. People were already suggesting like, oh, you know, as a vampire, you're probably already beginning to sober up, but who knows how fucking drunk that kid was.
Yep, right.
Yeah, it's not about you metabolizing alcohol in your body.
Right.
Like, you're not metabolizing, you don't have a digestive tract.
Exactly. Yeah. You're just... The alcohol is in your bloodstream right now, and it's basically the idea is that your blood is just trying to separate the alcohol out so that you can just vomit it back out. For right now, while it's in your bloodstream, it still has effects.
Yeah, it's effectively like the last person was feeling drunk, so you get that feeling of feeling drunk.
Right.
Like if you feed on someone who's feeling really like happy, you get a slight buzz out of it. If you feel on someone who's really melancholy, you get like a little bit of downer out of it. If you feel on someone who's drunk,
that answers many things for me out of game. I wasn't actually aware if vampires could become intoxicated.
Yeah, no, you can. Like, there's a trait for like addictions and stuff, and you have to feed off addicts, or you get a buzz from feeding on certain addicts.
Yep.
Yep.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So, like, say a heroin addict who gets turned into a vampire can't get anything from heroin because they don't have the system that metabolizes it, but they can go find someone else who's just like taking smack and then just feed on them.
If you bagged it, would it remain good?
The blood.
Yeah. Would it still remain with its level of intoxication?
Not really. You lose the essence of it. So I think you'd lose the drug, right?
I would imagine that it would just be drugged, but also getting bagged druggy blood is hard because there's such strict.
Oh, I didn't mean like druggy blood. I meant like an alcoholics or someone that was regularly drinking alcohol or something like that.
Unlikely, I would say. Bagged blood wouldn't carry that over.
Okay.
No, they have to be under the influence of the drug when you drink on them.
Pretty much. It's the same. Like, it's the reason why, like, if you feed on somebody happy, you feel happy. When you feed on somebody, you're basically in essence feeding on a part of them beyond blood, like the soul, more or less.
Yeah.
Which is why you try and you can cultivate people to be like certain resonances and then push their resonances up. Yeah. Which is what I've been doing with my herd.
Yep. Well, I guess we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun.
It's good to get back into it. Got to shake off the rust after a couple weeks, but
Also, I'm getting.
Are we going to be able to tidy this up though in like 5 or 6x? Who knows how many sessions?
5. I think we're down to 5.
Wow.
We're talking about it.
All right. Well, hope you guys liked the show. It was a wild one.
Right? Fuck.
Would you like to wrap up the after show?
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
That's it. That's my wrap up speech right there.
Good night.
That's it. That's the show.
Bye.